What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the good smiling company Figma action figure 276 Yugi Moto from Yu-Gi-Oh! I am really excited to have this. I'm actually a huge fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! Really glad I have it. Like I said, on the top we have an image of Yugi. On the side, another image of Yugi pointing. Yugi drawing a card. And at the bottom it's the same image that we had here at the top. But here we do have Yugi in the packaging. You can see his jacket is right here. A hand of cards, a singular card, eyepiece, extra face, his dual disc, and the Millennium Puzzle, which as you can see is not quite in the package correctly. On the back we just get a good idea of what this figure can do, just images of Yugi. Really excited to have that. Yami Yugi, I should say, not Yugi Moto. But anyway, what I'm going to do now is take a little break, get him open out of the packaging, and then we'll go on to the rest of his review. So sit tight, everyone. And so here we have Yami Yugi posing out of the packaging. Now before we get on to him, let's actually run through his accessories really fast, because he does come with quite a few, so give me 1 second really fast. One accessory that Yugi does come with is the Figma stand. Now, I'm just going to show you really fast that mine actually came broken. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's actually missing a piece. The peg should be about that much longer, and as you can see, it's not. Mine, unfortunately, came broken, and that's a little disappointing, but at least this piece can still peg on, so it's not that big of a problem. And if anything, I think it actually pegs in a little better now. Yeah, it's no problem. It still holds Yugi, so not too big of an issue with me. Just kind of wish that the peg didn't come broken. It's one of those worst, unfortunate things that happens, but it's just a stand, so it is moving the camera back out, a 3-piece stand, so it does have articulation in the hinges. So that's pretty good. It even rotates if that's what you want. Standard Figma stand, so nothing special here, so let's move on to his next accessory. The next accessory is Yugi's jacket, and as you can see, it does have a peg right here, so it's going to peg onto Yugi's back. My advice to you to put the jacket on is to pop his head off. That way you don't run the risk of poking your fingers or anything like that. And just tab the jacket in like so. And once it's in, it's a really secure fit, so you don't have to worry about it falling out. And then we'll just put his head back on. Now when he's like this, he is a little back heavy, so he has no support on his back with his jacket, so you do need the figure stand to hold him up. And as you can see, there is a little slot there. And you're basically going to peg this part into the jacket like so. And once it's in, oh, it came out. Let's actually set Yugi down for a moment. Give me 1 second. And once you have the jacket pegged on, you can see he does stand quite well. You do kind of have to angle it so that you get him to stand. But that's why we have a multi-piece stand. You don't have to have him displayed with a jacket, but I know most people are. So with that being said, let's move on to his next set of accessories. The next set of accessories that Yugi does come with, let's move the camera out a little, are 2 different faceplates. Yes, 2 different faceplates. You can see this one is missing his eyes. What this one does come with an extra set of eyes, so you can have him looking off to the left or looking off to the right. And it's just as simple as that. And yes, the eyes in here can be used with this one, so what I'm going to do really fast is show you what his face looks like with this faceplate on instead of the smiling one, so give me 1 second. And just to show you how this works, this entire yellow piece of Yugi's hair does pop off, and you just pop the faceplate off. Once the faceplate comes off, you can see that the eyes are right there. And you just switch the eyes out with the ones you want to have them displayed with. And then the hair just tabs back in. Do use caution on these. These are Figma figures, and applying too much force can break them. But really like the detail in both the faces. Let's actually get the eyes in this one so it doesn't look so creepy. You can see they did a really good job painting Yugi's eyes. They are that really nice purple color, very vibrant. And even the detail with his hair, the black is all painted crisp, and the red is sculpted just as it should be. So that's Yugi's head and his faceplate, so let's actually move on to his next accessory. Yugi's next accessory is the Millennium Puzzle. You can see it does have an actual chain right here. It's pretty well detailed. Let's actually zoom in on it. You can see that there's some black wash in there just to get the line work exposed. The top is nicely detailed. Really nice accessory, and to get this on Yugi, you just basically want to slide it over his neck, like so. Take his head and attach it like this. And now we have Yami Yugi with them wearing the Millennium Puzzle, and that looks really nice. You know for a fact this is how you want to display Yugi. Looks really nice with the puzzle, so let's move on to his final accessories, which are his additional hands and his extra arm piece. As with all the other Figma figures, we do get this tray of hands. You can see he does come with style pose hands with the hands open, 2 hands for holding accessories, 2 hands for holding the cards, and he does have a left hand that holds the card hand better. Let's slide those in, like so. And then we do get an individual card, which you can just slide that into his hand. And there's a siren going off. So you can see that his left hand will hold the cards, while his right hand will hold the singular hand. And then we get 2 extra right hands. I wonder if we can slide... Yeah, we can slide this card in so it looks like he's drawing or ready to play something. And then we also do get a pointing hand. The cards are pretty well done. The paint's all crisp on them. They don't have any monsters on them. They just basically have the outline of the Duel Monsters cards. This one only has it on the front card. The camera will focus really fast. There we go. Really nice accessories. These are pretty good. So what I'm going to do now is move on to his next accessory, which is his duel disc. And here we have Yugi's duel disc. As you can see, it is really nicely detailed. You can see that this is basically going to replace the forearm he has on right now. This is where his hand's going to attach to. Let's actually show that off. You just basically peg the hand on, and it's a nice secure fit. Has all the articulation you'd expect from it. And then, like I said, just slide the cards into his hand, and it looks like he has a full hand ready to play. This arm is kind of difficult to get onto Yugi, because I don't know what it is, but this peg, or the slot for this peg, doesn't want to slide in all the way, so I'm going to try to get that on camera. So give me one moment so we can get his dual disc arm on. And so here we have Yugi wearing the dual disc. As you can see, it's a really nice look for the figure. On mine, this one was really hard to get on and off. I actually had to take a hairdryer, heat up the forearm for a little bit just to get the peg all the way in. But once it's in, a really, really nice look for Yugi, as you can see. And now we just want to slide these cards into his hand. Whoop. We want to get them in his hand properly. There we go. And now it looks like he's ready to play an intense game of Duel Monsters. So really loving that. I'm going to just leave this forearm on for the sake of the review. Do be careful with this, because the dual disc does seem fragile and you might end up breaking it if you apply too much force. The instructions even say if joints don't want to move, heat them up with hot water. I use a hairdryer, so whichever one you guys want to use, heat it up before you try moving it around. With that being said, let's actually take a look at Yugi's detail. We've already gone over his face, but once again, just a really good figure. I'm really loving this Yugi. You can even see he has his deck box right there. His belt is studded, as well as his wristbands, and he's even wearing his choker. And I don't know, I think this puzzle is a little wonky at sometimes. But really loving this figure. Let's actually move on to his articulation. He does have a standard Figma joint. It does move left and right, up and down with that hinge, and it even tilts side to side. His arms on a ball hinge. They do have that ball joint that gives them some movement here. They are on a hinge, which you have to really play around with it to get that shoulder piece that's right here out of the way. As you can see, it's a little difficult just getting that shoulder piece out, but once you do, his arm goes out all the way. And his arm does do a full 360 all around. He has not a double jointed elbow, but an elbow that does give him pretty good range of movement. That ball hinge wrist that we know and love from Figma. You can get it to go up and down, turn the wrist, and now it has vertical hinge movement. He does have rotation in the forearm and bicep, so whichever one you want to rotate, be my guest. He does have an ab crunch, but the way it's designed, he has this overlay piece of plastic, so you're only going to get about that much bend out of him. But then he also does have a ball joint right here, and the dogs are barking. I'm sorry about that. So you do get a bit more range with Yugi. He goes back further than he goes forward, and then that also swivels like that. Legs go forward, back, and out. He swivels at the thigh. Not double jointed at the knee, but because the way the joint is designed, he does get pretty good range of movement in the knee. Ankle hinge, swivel, pivot, all that good stuff for Yugi's ankle. So overall, really nice figure. What I'm going to do now is take a little break, get him posed for my final thoughts, then we'll wrap up this review. So sit tight, everyone. So here we have Yami Yugi posed for my final thoughts. Overall, really glad I picked this figure up. He is a really nice figure, and I'm glad to have him in my collection. The only problems I have with him is that his hair is kind of tricky to get off, and on mine, this arm is incredibly hard to get on and off, so like, I don't want to be taking a heater every time I want to display him and swap the arms out, so that's a little unfortunate. But still, quality control issues aside, really nice figure, glad I picked him up. If you're a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, you're definitely going to want to have him in your collection. He is a must-have for any Yu-Gi-Oh collector. And this King of Dragons 5000 saying, well, I didn't even tell you guys where I got this guy. I actually picked him up on Big Bad Toy Store. It came out to about $70 shipped. Kind of high, but that's about how much Figma figures run you on Big Bad Toy Store. They normally run about 60, 65. If you're going to get Yugi, definitely pick him up, especially if you're a Yu-Gi-Oh fan. Like I said, just a great addition to your collection. I can't wait to see if we get like a Joey, a Kaiba, maybe a Merrick. I know Dark Magician Girl is coming out next year, but I can't wait to see what else they do with these guys. And this is King of Dragons 5000 saying, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, tell me what you think of Yami Yugi. Do you think he's worth a pickup? Do you think the Revoltech one is better? Let me know down in the comments. And don't forget to check out all my other action figure reviews, all my other Figma reviews, and I'll see you guys later. Take care, everyone. My dream.